3. A stranger. Chubby, light-skinned, almost white. The type that turns red, that burns. Dirty brown hair, curled up on his head. Got in the elevator like a normal guy. Didn't acknowledge nobody. No dead body, no live body, no smoke. Normal. So I figured he was real, which made me real embarrassed about the pee, but made me real happy I wasn't all the way gone. 9:08 a.m., 47 seconds. The thick, pale dude stood staring at his blurry reflection in the metal door when Buck started trying to get his attention. Yo, Buck said. Psst. The guy didn't budge. Yo, dude, Buck called, reaching for his shoulder. The man turned around. I know you. Buck flashed his big, choppy grin. Your name Frick, right? Only to people who know me, the guy said, reluctantly reaching for Buck's hand. Remember me? Buck said, like a distant relative at a reunion. Buck, he said, showing the back of his t-shirt again. Oh, shit. Head cocked. Buck? Arms wide. What's good, man? Nothing is good at all. This is Danny, Mark, Mikey, and you remember Sean? This is little brother Will. Before Frick could answer, I asked Buck how he knew him, what his connection was to me, what he was doing in this spooky ass elevator. 9:08 a.m., 50 seconds. How do I know him? Buck scoffed, shaking his head. This is the man who murdered me. Wait. Hold up. Hold the hell on. On my brother, on Sean's name. You serious? Wait, what? Wait. What? You heard me right. See, Frick here. Buck paused. Why do they call you that anyway? He asked, sidetracked. It's really Frank. Twin sister, Francis. Frick and Frat came from my uncle. Stupid shit old man call you stick in the hood. Frick explained. Who you telling? Matter of fact, because of you, Buck paused again, turned back to me. Because of him, well, the only reason people around here know my government name is from reading it on my damn tombstone. Buck's real name was James. I've only heard it one time. Buck better than James. Buck short for Young Buck. Nickname given by stepfather as a joke because Buck couldn't grow no facial hair. Smooth baby face. Nothing rough about it. Buck was two-sided. Two dads. Step and Real. Step raised him. A preacher, a real preacher, not scared of no one. Praying for anyone, helping everyone. Real run through him. A bank robber would steal air from the world if he could get his hands on it. People always said he was taught to do good, but doing bad was in his blood. And there's that nighttime Mom always be talking about. It'll snatch your teaching from you, put a gun in your hand, a grumble in your gut, and some sharp in your teeth. But he didn't start that way. At first, Buck was a small-time hustler, dime bags on the corner. Same old story until my pop got popped at the payphone that night. Then he became a big brother to Sean and a robber to a bunch of suburban neighborhoods every morning. He knew better than to jack people around here and come back with money the most, sneakers the best, and jewelry which he loved to show off. Back to Frick. I was shocked when I heard that this dude killed Buck. Yeah, Buck said, hand on Frick's shoulder all buddy-buddy. This the guy. He glanced at me. Sean never told you that story? He never really talked about it, I said. Sean just said you were shot and that he knew who did it, I explained, remembering that time. Sean's face a candle, melted wax flame flickering out. I remember the cops banging on our door to question him, to tell him they heard he was close to James. That was the one time I heard Buck's real name. And to ask him if he knew who might have done it, killed him, shot him twice in the stomach in the street. Sean ain't saying nothing to the cops, to no one, just locked himself in his room for hours. And the next day I caught him sitting on his bed pushing bullets into gun clip. 9:08 a.m., 54 seconds. Well, let me tell you, Buck said, we were hanging out at the court sharing a bottle of something cheap and strong just before it went down, Buck said. Sean was telling me how he had gotten into a little scuffle, nothing major, with one of the dudes from the Dark Sons, Buck said. Said he had to get your mother some kind of soap she uses that he could only get from the store down by where they hang out. A dumb thing to say would have been to tell Buck how important that soap was, that it stopped Mom from scraping loose a river of wounds. But instead, I just said, Riggs. I'm not sure what his name is, Buck said. Said Sean said he was going to the store when the dude, Riggs, ran up on him talking all this shit. Said it was nothing serious, just popping off at the mouth about how he was a Dark Son and how Sean ain't belong around there. Said Sean was in his feelings all huff explaining to Buck about how he had grown up with the kid, Riggs, and how the kid was brand new. Buck said he told Sean to let it roll off, but he couldn't because that's just how he was. All emotion, all the time, Buck said. While he's going on about this dude, I'm trying to show him this chain I got from some kid outside the burbs. Didn't even snatch it. Just growled a little bit and asked for it. And the sucker just took it right off and handed it to me. Ain't even snatch it, Buck said, thinking back on that day like he still couldn't believe it. But what does it have to do with my brother and this guy? I said, pointing to Frick. Hold on. I'm getting to that. So Sean was tripping so hard about this dude, I gave him the gold chain, Buck said, proud. A gift, his first one. Then Sean left to the basketball court. And that's when I came, Frick chimed in, a big smile on his face like he had just won some kind of award. How to become a Dark Son. 1, turf. 9 blocks from where I live. 2, The Shining. A cigarette burn under the right eye. 3, dark deed. Robbing someone, beating someone, or the worst, killing someone. Note, apparently you also got to be corny. I was assigned my dark deed for initiation, Frick explained. And it was to kill Buck? Now, he said, funny thing is, I was just supposed to rob him. I didn't think it was a funny thing at all. Everybody knew Buck was always flossing, always flashy, but nobody would touch him because of his pops. Both of them, Real and Steph. Gangsters always respect older, original gangsters, OGs, and preachers who act like gangsters. Frick said his plan was to jack the Jack Boy. Said he knew Buck would be at the court, so he ran up on him, pulled the hammer, and got laughed at. Buck said he couldn't get got by a dude who he could tell was as soft as the suburban joker he'd just jacked. Everyone in the elevator laughed, except me. 9:08 a.m., 58 seconds. Frick said, I was just trying to earn my stripes. Can't knock me for that. He turned around and caught eyes with Pop and Uncle Mark. They nodded in agreement. No judgment here, Uncle Mark said, throwing his hands up. Anyway, this crazy fool Buck swings at me. Just tries to take me even though I have a boomstick. Frick looked at Buck, shook his head, and cut his eyes to me. I got scared. So I pulled the trigger. Buck bent his pinky and ring finger back, turned his hand into a gun. Bang, bang. Again, what does this have to do with Sean? I asked. Sean stuck to the rules, Frick replied. You mean? I swallowed. You mean he... I struggled to get it out. Now Buck put the finger gun against Frick's chest and repeated. Bang, bang. Actually, he only pulled the trigger once, so it was more like bang. Frick corrected. 15 bullets. Took me out before I even got the shining, Frick said. Rubbed just under his right eye like it still rubbed him the wrong way. Frick yanked his collar down. See this? He asked, exposing a hole in his chest, dime-sized. Disgusting. Bloody, but not bleeding. Your brother's fingerprints are in there somewhere. Buck hard replied before I had the chance, and I bet it's his middle finger too. When the joke was over, I asked how Sean could have known Frick was the guy who killed Buck. Buck said there was only one other person at the court that night. Always there, all the time. A young kid running back and forth trying to dunk, not shoot. Said he thinks I may have known him. Tony. And he wasn't trying to dunk. He was trying to fly. Tony talking ain't the same as snitching. Snitching is bumping gums to badges. But Tony ain't run to no cops or cry to no cameras, nothing like that. Tony talking was laying clean, loyalty, and allegiance to the asphalt around here, an attempt to grow taller, get bigger one way or another. 9:09 a.m., 3 seconds. Now let me ask you, how you know this kid Riggs got your brother? Buck fired back. Because he clearly got revenge for Sean taking out this guy. I pointed to Frick. Frick, you know a kid named Riggs? Danny asked out of nowhere, her voice floating over my shoulder. Little dude, big mouth, dark sun. I figured the description might help. Frick looked at me confused. Who? Anagram number 5. I wish I knew an anagram for poser. Frick looked at me like I was crazy, shrugged his shoulders, turned around and faced the door. Couldn't see his reflection. Couldn't see any of their reflections. Just mine. Blurred. Frick had his own cigarettes and his own matches. Finally, the elevator came to a stop.